One of our biggest complaints with smartphones in 2017 is that they've become just too expensive. Like seriously, devices like the iPhone X are almost as pricey as a full-blown MacBook. I don't think you're getting $1,000 worth of phone, and I've got just the device to help me prove my point. I'm Jaime Rivera with Pocket Now, and this is our review of the OnePlus 5T. So let me put this to you into perspective. If you damage an iPhone X in any way that pushes the repairs out of warranty, guess how much money you'll have to pay to replace it? No, you're not seeing Photoshop work. You're gonna have to cough an insane 5.5 Benjamins to get it fixed. So if I told you that you could buy one of the best Android phones of 2017 for that same price, what would you say? Now you understand why the OnePlus 5T is so popular. OnePlus flagships are usually all about guts, but I feel the 5T was a necessary refresh. The OnePlus 5 launched with a dated design that I'm sure had many fans complaining. By contrast, the 5T adopts the new trends of a taller 18:9 aspect ratio on the display. This particular AMOLED panel at 1080p is definitely flagship worthy, with deep blacks and saturation galore, protected by Gorilla Glass 5, and also with one of the best ambient displays in the industry. The chassis is once again anodized aluminum, so that's one less thing you'll have to worry about breaking. And the odd part is that what I like the most about the design is that it feels incomplete. The OnePlus covers feel like an elemental piece of the puzzle, and my favorite continues to be sandstone gray. Now, don't get me wrong, the phone feels great in the hand without it, but try them out and you'll see what I mean. And then there are the little things that I love about this phone, like the 3-stage toggle mute switch that has become a distinctive convenience about OnePlus devices. Its internals literally give this phone the crown for the most powerful Android phone of 2017. We have a Qualcomm Snapdragon 835, 6GB of RAM or 8 depending on your choice for 64 or 128 gigs of storage, dual SIM capabilities, the latest Bluetooth 5.0, a 3300 mAh battery, and dash charging, which is the fastest in the industry. And even if this phone doesn't have an IP rating, OnePlus claims that you can splash it just fine and not worry about it. Oxygen OS 4.7.1 on top of Android 7.1.1 powers these internals and continues to be my favorite customization for Android. For starters, it's as close to stock as can be, and what OnePlus adds is focused on convenience. I love the customizable dashboard on the left that can become whatever you want through widgets. I love that there's a full menu to help you customize the navigation buttons and what they do. You can set up double tap commands, long press, etc., which allows these 3 buttons to become 9 if you want to. I love power user features like parallel apps for more than one account on social media. I love App Locker, which provides extra security for whatever apps you define, and I do love gaming Do Not Disturb, which is self-explanatory. And notice that I keep saying I love. Like seriously guys, for all the claims that Android is free and open, this is one launcher that truly embodies how Android should operate. About the only thing that's missing here is Oreo, which should launch early next year, but in about everything else, this is definitely a launcher that I highly recommend. And since we're already mentioning games, my experience using this phone for more than a week is definitely a delight. Graphics-intensive games launch like a charm and play without a problem, and the same goes for the overall user experience. I just don't have anything to complain about here. A key element about this phone is its new face to unlock, and it works well for me in all the scenarios that I've tested. I'm not gonna lie, I'm still skeptical over my phone being unlocked by somebody else, but I love that you have the choice of disabling this feature and going back to the ceramic-made fingerprint scanner, or using both. I also don't have anything bad to say about the battery. The phone lasts through the day just fine, and dash charging is really quick to top up. And please don't ask me to complain about the lack of wireless charging. That's still one of those things that's cool to have, but not truly necessary. Really, my major complaints with this phone have everything to do with the lack of stereo speakers and how easy it is to muffle the one at the bottom.
sexiest guy on fucking town, right?
But this doesn't really mean that I complain about the audio. Just snap a pair of headphones on the 5T and this continues to be one of the best audio performers of 2017, and that extends to using the OnePlus Bullets, which are extremely affordable. Now, the camera story is a very interesting one on this device. OnePlus has really boosted its game in photography since the 5, and the 5T is no exception. We have a unique combo of a 16-megapixel shooter at 1.12 microns, and another at 20 megapixels at standard microns, both with the same 27mm focal length and f1.7 aperture for better low-light performance. The results are good color reproduction, saturation, and detail during the day, and admirable performance at night as well, though I find just a little too much lens flaring in certain scenarios, and even when going 2x, this continues to be a problem. The whole concept of portrait mode is also good, and I love the idea of these being wide shots instead of cropped in. What I still don't praise is the result in low light. The hardware is there, but the camera simply says that it can't do the depth effect because it needs more light, which is completely opposite to what OnePlus is claiming. Selfie photos are not a work in progress, for the most part. In photos, they do a great job, mainly because of those 16 megapixels in the shooter, and the reason why I say for the most part is because the crop for video is just terrible, which doesn't make any sense with so much resolution on the camera. Another thing that is not a work in progress is video stabilization on the primary shooter. I'm really impressed with how this phone performs no matter how much walking brings extra hand movement. Definitely one thing that OnePlus did get right with this update is video. To conclude, I think the theme of this review is clear. With the OnePlus 5T, you don't just get what you paid for, you get a lot more. At nearly half the price of the best flagships of 2017, this is a phone that's actually better than some of them at many aspects. You may lack the benefit of being able to finance it unlocked, but that argument would only make sense if this was less of a phone. Fact of the matter is, there is no way around it. This is a better phone. This would be my second year exposed to OnePlus devices, and never a dull moment. For those of you thinking that this is a fanboy video or that we're paid to say this, well, I hate to break it to you, but it's not. OnePlus is actually a small company that doesn't do that. This is just a truly great phone. Like seriously, instead of coughing $900+ for a phone this holiday season, I'd recommend you go for the OnePlus 5T and use the rest of the money for a smartwatch or that game console you've always wanted. Folks, let us know in the comments what you think of the OnePlus 5T, and please subscribe. The top card will take you to our first impressions of the OnePlus 5T, and the bottom to our impressions of the Google Pixel 2 XL. You can also follow me on Twitter, Jaime_Rivera, or on Instagram at Jaime Rivera. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like what you saw. I am Jaime Rivera. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.